way to make money other than through freemium content, which sometimes personally I see very bugging. Like, here is free content and then there is a paywall for additional content. Sometimes, at least in the mind, right, I just put myself in that writer shoe, and I think of, okay, when the writer was writing, or the creator was creating the free content, was the mind that, okay, this is free, so it should be low quality, and this is paid, it should be high quality. So sometimes I think, but have you seen any example where there is content which is free and there is some other way to monetize the audience?
So freemium is typically, and we've seen a few cases, but is there any other way apart from the ones that we've discussed?
Yeah, so I think I think there are multiple ways, but I want to share a story of Kyron Ball, who had the same goal, that how do I convert an audience into a paid community? And Kyron was of the view that, let me create content for free, but then let me actually take the lens of my audience and think of my audience's goal, because I'm writing the content so that my audience can reach a particular goal. And then Kyron thought that this is a content which will help them learn something which is useful to achieve this goal. But a lot of people, they actually stop here, that they learn and then they keep learning. They are in that loop where they keep reading, keep learning, keep reading, keep learning, and this gap between learning.
Oh, there's a gap, learning and doing. Yeah, that's where.
So Kyron monetized by keeping the content free, but focusing on the paid part, on the doing. So Kyron has this community which is called Launch MBA. And what they do in that community is that through the free content, people subscribe, share their email, and they anyway keep getting content around how do you launch a business, how do you start an online business, actually, to be more precise. But in the paid community, where access is by invite, so that Kyron and team can manage the quality of the small community where the doing is happening, they have a higher goal, which is actually make products. And when you are making product, you are actually doing, and you are moving beyond just learning. Okay. And the members, they learn.
So they're actually making something then.
Yes. And I'll tell you an interesting part. Not only they are making something, the format in which they work is that in 12 months, they will make 12 products, one product every month. And these are all folks. Sorry,
I think okay. No, I'm really worried about joining something like this.
Yeah. No. So
because you shift 12. Oh God.
And think of it like these are all people who are doing a side project. Kyron focuses on no code. So these are all folks who are not technical by background. But this is like I would say this is for people like me. So I would read a lot about product development, but since I am not into development myself, I would just acquire that knowledge and then it will sit. But something like this, where there are people around me who are building, would motivate me to get up and actually apply that no code knowledge to build something, even if it's a crap, because the objective is not that you have to make 12 different income streams. No, the objective is that if you're starting from point A, where you were just consuming content around, on the side, make a product, create an online business, from that point you end up in at a point where you have built 12 products. A lot of them would have been crap, but even if all of them were bad,
the learnings will be huge.
Learnings will be
so huge.
Yeah.
For example, even ship a Hello World.
Yeah.
You know how long it takes. I hope Hello World, kind of a Hello World program qualifies to be a shipped product.
Yeah.
No, but on a more serious note, I think this is so important. to be able to. One is one can learn a lot about running through reading magazines, but nothing beats that experience of just getting up, wearing your shoes, and just showing up every single day and running a few hundred meters. For
Yes.
first time runner, even that is like so difficult.
Absolutely. And
Right, and no, but this is really amazing. I think such a, and I'm so thankful that you shared something like this. 12 products in 12 months. I'm thinking if there are 20 people in that cohort,
yeah,
250 products, and imagine, I'm sure that they would be discussing what they're going to launch, and imagine that community is going to be so close knit at the end of 1 year, because they would have shipped 250 products. Together as a community.
So that, and for me, I'll just go back to the process, which is helpful. It happens with me. I'm pretty sure it happens with you also a lot. That when you're thinking of a side project, the tendency to consume more content is so much higher than actually doing or finding time to do.
It's convenient, no, Rahul?
It's convenient.
It's very convenient. As in you can show, you can pretend to be busy without getting anything done.
Yes. And
I've read so much.
Yes, I've read so much. So I've achieved. So that
so you've convinced your mind.
So that dopamine hit happens every time I read something useful and I tell myself, yes, I made progress. So for people like me, surrounding myself with doers is actually something that I would want to pay money for. The reason I am able to produce work when I am in a project or I'm in a job is because I'm surrounded by people who are doing. Right. So that's where actually stuff happens. But in a side project, things go slow because I'm a lot of time doing it alone. So what this guy has done is this part, that creating a community of doers, people who are doing and taking action every day. So that's the fascinating
I can just summarize it in one sentence. It's like the Navy SEALs of no code.
Wow.